Hey, what's up guys? So in this video we are going to swap the standard 1146 cassette on my trance here for this brand new in the box 11x42 XT cassette. So do a little bit unboxing here. Let's take a look at a new Shimano cassette. And kind of like I was saying previously, I like a actually somewhat smaller cassette. The 46s and 50s are nice, but just what I'm used to riding, it's a bit smaller. So there we have it. There is our XT cassette here. Let's see how this guy. On the side, nice and shiny. There we go. All right, good deal. I was looking at the XTR, and for how much more it was compared to the weight savings, I figured the XT is definitely the way to go for my riding. So to swap a cassette, you are going to need a chain whip, pretty standard, looks like that. You can pick them up, 15, 20 bucks tops. Then you're going to need a cassette lock ring tool, and you can either use a, I believe it's a 22 millimeter wrench, or some of them like this one can be attached to a half-inch socket. And so what you're going to do is you want to stand behind the wheel like this, and I like to use a bigger gear. Just want to drape it around like that, and you want to find a good leverage point, usually right there, because you're going to be, again, turning counterclockwise. Normally I like to have a bit nicer tool, which is a 12 mil, which fits into there, but this will work fine for now. So we're just going to position it at, from my vantage point, about a 2 o'clock position. And then basically the force is you're basically pushing down on both sides, and that's going to break the lock ring loose. So you want to make sure, kind of test it, make sure that this is gripped in there good and that all these teeth are gripping in the chain. If not, it is going to rip off pretty hard and you might hurt yourself. So with a nice firm grip, we're just going to, again, push down on both sides, and we're going to break the lock ring loose like that. And then we take our chain whip. We're not going to need that again. And lock ring is pretty loose. We're going to set our tool down now. You want to take the wheel, set it upright like this, and off, if I can even get my fingers around it, off the cassette comes just like that. There we go. And we are going to, running out of space here, we're just going to set that guy aside there for a moment. And what I like to do now, just a quick note on these discs here. Obviously, as most of you know, this is to protect the chain from going off the biggest cog into the spokes. However, if your derailleur is tuned properly, as in your high limit screw is set right, you won't have a need for these. So we can actually, we're going to go ahead and take this off here. And if you want, you can save these things. I usually don't. Once they, no matter how fancy they are, once they come off, I pretty much just chuck them aside. Again, as long as your derailleur limit screws are set properly and you check them on a weekly basis, you'll never have to worry about needing one of these. Okay, so now throwing on our new cassette. Let's take a little bit of grease. You want to grease the free hub body. Again, you don't want to overdo it. Just a nice light coating on the surface like that. And take our new cassette here. So Shimano cassettes, they come in 3 parts, which is going to be your cluster of your last 4 gears, and then it's going to have these 2 separate sections like this. So set that there. As with all Shimano ceramic cassettes, you're going to see there's the bigger lock piece there, and that's going to be what you want to focus on to line up on your free hub body here. So we're just going to spin it till we find it. It's right there, and then that's just gonna slide on like that, and then you're just basically going to follow the pattern until everything is all the way down like so. There we go. And then the spacers don't really have a set pattern. They will just go on as such. And then again, you're just going to follow it all the way down. Being new, it's going to be kind of stubborn to get these on. They might fight you a little bit, but they will go eventually. All right, and now here we have our lock ring here. So you take your lock ring, and I like to spin it backwards just a little bit to get it started. And then we're gonna hand tighten it, and then again, you don't want to crank on this too hard. Ideally, you would have a torque wrench. And there you go. So there is an install of an XT cassette. And this procedure is going to be about the same for 95% of the wheels out there. You know, unless you have like a different design, driver, etc. But there you go. All right, cool guys. We'll see you next video. Peace.
Bonus clip.